Next, we have Madam Rani Kanna, a storyteller and the director of AKD Creations and AK Theatre. She's an entrepreneur, a passionate storyteller, an arts educator, and an actor. Madam Rani Kanna, the stage is yours. We are waiting to hear your raw story.
Good morning. I was very happy Mr. Bosnick did this game because I wanted to start the session with a game. Are you all ready for a game? Okay, we are going to do small brick, big brick. Okay, this is a game of brick. When I say small brick, you show me a small brick. When I say a big brick, you show me a big brick. Are you ready? Small brick, big brick, big brick. I don't want any spring brick. Okay, spring, small brick, big brick. Big brick, big brick, small brick, big brick, small brick, big brick, big brick. Wow, I see a lot of spring brick. But that's not the game. That's too easy for adults. I play this with the children, okay? Now, you have to do the opposite of what I say. When I say small brick, you do big brick. When I say big brick, you do small brick. Are you ready? Big brick. Small brick. Small brick. Big brick. Big brick, small brick. Thank you. I see that, we are so accustomed to what we do. We do what is known to us. When something unknown comes, our brain is not accustomed to it. So I am Rani Kanna, a half brick, and I'm so glad to share my journey in this platform of half brick. And I'm so glad to hear all the stories and from the speakers before me that will guide me to become a full brick sometime. As introduced, I'm a storyteller, so I would like to start with a short story. Once a girl was in the seashore, and she saw a lot of starfishes were washed out. She picked one by one and threw it into the sea. An old man saw that young girl and asked, "What are you doing? There's a lot, thousands of fishes and starfishes being washed out. You're not going to make any difference to one starfish." She picked up one starfish. She said, "It's a scorching sun. The fishes would be dead if they lay here." And she picked up and she threw the fish as far as she could. And she said, "It did make a difference to that starfish." And then she walked away. So this raw story is, I'm sure it's making a difference to a lot of fishes. To begin my story, my first challenge came when I came to Singapore. My mother's a Singaporean, my dad is the Indian. How Mr. Dinakaran was saying that, how when he went back, he had the struggle. When I came here, I had the struggle. A new land, a new place, staying with my aunties and uncles, and the language I do not know, the food I'm not used to, and the school I do not know anyone, and the language I'm getting accustomed to it. I was a little girl with a lot of frightening what's going to happen, but I survived. Thanks to a simple and wonderful support system I had. My family is very simple, no big vacations, no big toys and all that, but they provided the basic necessity, which I'm very grateful for. Till this day, they're very supportive. I'm grateful for that. And moving, the next challenge came. During my adulthood, when I was a teacher, I'm very passionate about my mother tongue, Tamil. So when I was studying, I wanted to do my degree in Tamil. But at that time, there was no university which is offering degree program for Tamil language. After I finished my diploma in education, so I said, no, I want to be a Tamil teacher and I have to be the best. So I need to upgrade myself. So what if Singapore doesn't have? Let me go to India and study it. But the problem was I was having a 9 months kid with me. So how am I going to bring this child to India and will she adapt to this? It was in June, we need to go. It's a hot summer season. Will my child survive? Will I survive? Can I go there and study and look after my child? But me and my husband, we are a little crazy bunch artists. We just dared And I went first, go and set up everything, and came back to pick my daughter. My daughter, Kanna, is sitting here. I picked her, and then I brought her there. My husband, soon, he couldn't live without us. And he came and joined us after a few months. When he came, he's an anchor and actor. And he came, he didn't have any job. But then he wanted to be at the back end of the camera. But somehow he was brought forward in front of the camera, and he was making a living in Chennai, and I was in Madurai. Every weekend we meet, and after some time, and he said, so what is this? Why are we living like that? And then I changed my university to Madras, and then I finished my bachelor's of education in Tamil, and then I continued to do my master's in linguistics. Then, after which, my daughter was in here, and she loved to come back to Singapore to see my brother's kids, his brother's kids. And she used to wonder, Ma, I'm a Singaporean, what am I doing in India? Being a mother, when she asked me that, and I was thinking, did I do the right thing for my passion? Am I depriving my child? And some of my relatives, yes, they did say that you left an iron rice bowl of a government job with the Ministry of Education, and then you're going to India to study Tamil. So that's where the thing. And as I said, that we were a crazy bunch who were following our passion. I finished my education when I brought her, and after that, because she missed the relation here, and we were alone there, me and my husband, and all my friends, and I finished my master's, and I was not working, and I was feeling, I wanted to do something. But he was very popular. He was a popular anchor. His name is Mr. Kanna. He was popular in Sun Music. And then he has to make a decision of what. I had this at the back of my mind. Do I come back or do I stay there? So one day he was in another town, and I was reading the book of Brian Tracy. And he said that, how do you live? If you have only 6 months to live, what do you want to do? Would you be doing the same thing as you are doing now? Would you be living in the same place with the same people? Then that made me think, if I have only 6 months to live, would I want to be in there where I don't have my family and friends? Then when he called, before that I've been telling him often, but he thought I'm just making excuses to go back to Singapore. But then when the call came, I said, hey, Kanna, I'm reading this book, and Brian Tracy says this, if you were to live for 6 months, you have to do this. And I said, if I have only 6 months to live, I think I'll go back to Singapore and be with my family and friends. Upon hearing that, I think he got scared. What if this is the last 6 months of her? I better bring her back. He said, pack up the bag. So it happened in September. I packed up my bag, and in November we came back. When I brought her, a 9 months child, I brought her back as a 9-year-old kid. And she came back and she continued her education. That was a challenging life for me in India. I'm studying in the morning and coming back and looking after her in the evening, doing assignment after putting her to bed. But all these things happened because of the drive we had, the love we had for that language, and how do I want to be. So that was a driving force, and for both of us to cross the challenge. And after a while, he came back here. Again, how he came to Chennai, missing us. He came back. What is the point of having a successful career when your wife and child is not with you? He came back. And our life, a new career began here. So as I told you, when I went back, I quit my job from the Ministry of Education. When I came back, what am I going to do? Then we started an enrichment company where he's a theatre practitioner, I'm an educator. So I moved on as a storyteller, enriching lives. We took a motto of enriching children's and individuals' lives. We wanted to empower them to tell their stories. Let it be a small child, let it be a teenager, let it be an adult. We guide them to empower their stories. We took the method of the language we love and the performing arts we know of. Together with Tamil language, we also wanted to root our community in the folk art, our Marabu Isai. So we went on to teach the different folk art forms, the Tamil folk art forms of Oilatam, Karagatam, and somewhat in Paraisai. When we got to know it, it gave us a link with our forefathers. It was in our DNA when the music of Pare, as I'm sure Mr. Bosnick will understand, when the drum starts, you could feel a connection to my forefathers and the land they come from. Even though I'm in Singapore, of course, I'm a very proud Singaporean, but I never forget my lineage has come from India. So that we realize that language and culture make a person whole. So we wanted to pass on, and be coming from educational background, I wanted to pass this on to a child whom I meet through my storytelling, through the dramas we put. So that's how career came. And then, and of course, as you know, both of us were full-time artists. Being a full-time artist in Singapore, I'm sure the Singaporeans will know that how we struggle to pay our month-end bills. We earned a few $1,000s lesser than my counterparts who are, in the 15 years, they take a whole sum of 15 years long service, 25 years long service. We always had a little less than everybody, but our heart was very, very fulfilled with the job we do. Every morning I wake up, I'm very happy. I'm going to go to this school. I'm going to tell this story. We are going to provide. My husband is very happy sweeping the stages of the theatre. And, I always say that is my second Sakalati. He loved the theatre. So, as I said, we were a crazy bunch of artists who wanted to pursue our dreams. After that, when we set up our AKD Creations, and AK Theatre was growing with a lot of struggles, and another big challenge came for me just 2 years ago. Out of nowhere, like a healthy individual who doesn't drink, who doesn't smoke, who had very good habits, who drinks 2 liters of water in the morning, who does 8 to 16 set of Surya Namaskaram, suddenly diagnosed with cancer. And I got to know, before I know, he's no more. So that is a wake-up call. Though we have been living a life to the heart's fullest, but it makes you understand what life is. What are we doing? Yes, you need to make a living, a very good living, where it pays you. At the same time, it adds value to another person. So I know that a lot of speakers here are doing that. I'm so happy to share this platform. So when I come to know, it just went off. Till today, I'm in denial. Because he is a host who goes travel to India and do a lot of programs. He's there traveling. He's exploring a new world. And he will guide me all the way through my struggles. So, being a very dependent wife, he guides me, and he's a very creative person, designs a lot of programs. I'm like the Saradi who will execute whatever he wants. Theatre, I want this Naga, then I'll go and get it done. But now I have to design the program. I have to run the company. I have to manage finance and everything. So I was a little lost. And even in that, he told me that the last few days, he said, do not pressurize yourself to do what we are doing. If you're very comfortable going back to your secure job, do what you want. So there was no pressure in bringing up the company, to build this company. So I can do whatever I want. That moment, I realized that I have today that he has lost. I have these months, I have this life which he doesn't have. So I will continue to fulfill his dream and the dream we had together to instill the love for Tamil language and Tamil culture. And not only that, not only our own culture. Whenever we meet, we encourage kids to know their language and their culture. So now I'm at this stage where I realize that thinking about the past is not going to do anything. And thinking about the future, which is not there, is not going to do anything. But worrying about both is going to ruin my present. So I want to live this day to the fullest. And whenever I have doubt, I will go back to the motto we had. Empower a child, a human, to tell his life. Create empathetic children who value the fellow next to it. Like Mr. Tim Wong said, to make a difference in one child's life. So I want to go by one brick at a time to build a beautiful house. I may start with a half brick, but one day we would be able to fulfill his dream, our dream. So I would like to finish my talk with this mottos we live by. Pasittiru, Tanittiru, Vilittiru. It's a Valalar statement, but I took it as this way. Pasittiru, be hungry for knowledge. I'm sure a lot of, going with the double PhDs and a lot of hungry people here, hungry for knowledge. Be hungry for knowledge. Tanittiru, be an individual, be an individualistic. Whatever you do, Miss Neera was telling to me how she took risk and she created her business. Be an individual in whatever you do. Kamal said, even if you have to sweep the road, be the best sweeper in that road. So whatever we do, Tanittiru, Vilittiru, be hungry for opportunity. Vilittiru, be alert for opportunities. Be alert for those people who need. How Mr. Bala is alert with a lot of stories unsaid. He wanted to create a platform and he did it. So when we do the pasittiru pa, tanittiru ta, vilittiru vi, padavi, எந்த பதவியும் உங்களை வந்து கேட்டோம். All titles will come to you when you have these three mottos. So let's live one day at a time. Life is really short. Let's live it well. Thank you.